Good evening, everyone. I'm WCI3 meteorologist Jacob Dickey. The time is 10:44, almost 10:45, and we're going to take a little time to talk about some of the strong to severe storms that are heading our way. I don't think, first off, I'll start and say I don't think tonight is nearly as widespread as the Friday night storms were, but there still is a threat for some severe weather, and we've got some alerts that are out there. So we'll talk you through it and let you know what we expect tonight. If you plan to head to bed, great thing to have is one of these right here, a NOAA weather radio. It can wake you up if there's severe storms coming your way. Your weather app on your phone, the WCI3 weather app, also will send you updates if there are any alerts. So we figured we'd jump on after the show here and just talk through some of these storms coming our way. There is one severe thunderstorm complex off in the Fulton County area moving in our direction. Other storms to the north, other storms to the south and to the west. So we'll look at it all, talk about what we expect the rest of the night, and take a look even at some cooler temperatures that are on the way by tomorrow. Tonight's storms are brought to us by a cold front, and that cold front is bringing some of these scattered showers and storms into the area. Right now, as we look at radar, all of the viewing areas seeing nothing. And that was expected here. Our window of opportunity for this round tonight was starting as early as 9 p.m. through 3 a.m. So we are thinking those storms are starting to move on in here. And really by about 11:30 or so, I think they'll be really knocking on our doorstep here. Perhaps with this batch of storms in parts of Logan, DeWitt, McLean counties. We'll watch it and see what direction it's moving. It is moving at a speed, if I remember correctly, just checking, I believe it was moving to the east, and it was moving at... Pull that warning up real quick. I think it was 55 miles an hour last I saw. So these storms starting to pick up and move with a little more hustle in their step than anything. And let me just triple check. I want to make sure I say that right. Mainly a wind threat. I do know that. The east with a slight southward component. There have been some 60-mile-an-hour winds reported. That it should be 35 miles an hour. And so that's what we had here in the area. All right, so we're watching, and let's talk more about where we're seeing these storms at and zoom on. And this is the complex of storms that I think will give us, some of us in central Illinois, the most problems here, the most trouble. Fulton County has a severe thunderstorm warning. There was 60-mile-an-hour winds reported in Macomb and in Colchester, Illinois. This batch is expected to move to the east with a slight southward component. If we move at 35, 40 miles an hour here, I'll put a future track on it for you and give you an idea of how fast it's moving. We would expect it to move, and we would expect it to arrive somewhere in our area here. If we'll go out, an hour and a half here. I mean, we're talking it could approach I-55 somewhere around the looks like it's going to be the 11:30 to midnight time frame. That's an early estimation. We'll watch it and keep you updated, but this is, again, the cold front that is bringing these showers and storms through. I do expect them to pick up a little bit in speed as that front moves on, and behind it, that front is bringing the nicer weather tomorrow. So if we have to pay with a few showers and storms, I think, let me rephrase that. The cooler weather tomorrow. We're still getting some rain showers and clouds tomorrow. Tuesday will be the good sunny day with cool temperatures in the region. But this batch right here does have my eyes for some straight line winds. And there have been some reports from, again, Macomb and Colchester of that. Still a little ways off, but we think through 3 a.m. the chance will be there for that. Here's a look up into the north of our area. This is north of Interstate 80, Chicago area right now, actually. North side Chicago, downtown Chicago has a tornado warning. There's also a tornado warning in Aurora. That's going to be for Kane, DuPage, and Cook counties there. A couple of areas of rotation embedded with that complex of storms. So if you know anyone up in Chicago, they're dealing with some tornadoes right now in that area. These storms will move to the east. These will not impact us here in central Illinois, but this line does swing a little more to the south and west, and it kind of trails off a little bit here, more scattered in nature. It's this feature here that maybe will give us the best chance for some of those strong to severe storms. And then we've had this line of storms here to the south. This one has been diving more south and east towards St. Louis. So there's a fair chance that if this batch of storms right here weakens a little bit, most of us may stay quiet tonight. There is still some instability present, some decent instability values. There also is a bit of wind shear in place. We'll see if they can stick around long enough to get some of these stronger storms into our area here. And I think that probably will be by I-55, perhaps around midnight or so. So we'll be watching over the next hour and 11 minutes to see what we expect. I'll show you the alerts right now that we have. First, let's start with the severe thunderstorm watch. It goes for Livingston, Ford, Iroquois, and Benton counties until 2 a.m. We also have one for Logan, Menard, Cass, Morgan, Sangamon, and Macoupin County until 1 a.m. Kind of a patchwork of watches issued by the Storm Prediction Center. If that storm continues on its trend off to the east here, it's possible we may see a local extension of that watch. Not everyone will get a watch tonight, but we've just got to watch this little batch of storms and see what it does. I think next in line after the watch might be McLean, DeWitt, Macon, Piatt, maybe Champaign County here. I won't offer any optimism, overt optimism for it here. But again, I think tonight's storm's not nearly as significant or widespread as storms were on Friday night. So that's a good thing here. You still may wake up to some thunder and lightning. And if we start seeing some alerts in our area, we'll stream digitally and do some TV cut-ins just in case you wake up and say, what's going on? And so we will be here and keeping updated on that. So I'm going to show you future track real quick. I'll tell you what. One of the issues with these types of systems is that we've had trouble with some of our weather models understanding what's going to happen. Sometimes they do a great job. Sometimes they don't do great at all here. They're not perfect. We're not perfect. You're not perfect. We're not perfect here in the world. There's things that don't work like they should. But finally, starting to see a little bit of agreement in what we expect on the models. Maybe the location's off a little bit, but we get the idea of those Missouri storms over there, a little complex here, and the Chicago storms up there. So we're seeing that overall and understanding, okay, getting an idea here of what's going on. This, though, wants to bring that complex for Missouri in by about midnight. I think it's a little more north. I think it's these storms here that are going to be here. This batch may end up being more south here, so I'm not optimistic this is going to be exactly right. But we look at the trend here. By midnight, 1:30 in the morning, we've got at least some strong storms in the area. Don't take it verbatim that, oh, here's that line of storms. It's going to look exactly like that. The trend is our friend when we analyze the models. And the good thing is I think the further east these storms go, the later we go into the night, the weaker they get. Look by 2, 3 a.m. Not a whole lot there, just some spotty rain showers out there. And so we may be done with our severe threat even before 3 a.m. here. I-55 probably has the better chance. Then you hit the Interstate 39, US 51 corridor, and maybe a few storms there. By I-57, probably looking maybe an isolated severe storm. And by the Indiana state line, I don't think we'll have to worry about anything here. That's kind of my timeline that I've been analyzing here and looking at for the region. So again, the window of opportunity probably going to be more west central Illinois, I-55 corridor, but I won't rule it out here. Nothing doesn't say there maybe is a little instability still left that we can't get some stronger gusts of winds. And I still think we'll have some thunder and lightning. Don't get me wrong there. These storms probably not nearly as significant, though, in the intensity that the lightning was on Friday night. Boy, those storms were electric. These still have some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning with them, but I don't think nearly as much of that. And I think the good news, too, is because these storms continue to move, they don't stall out over a place, we're not going to see those 3 to 6 inch plus rain totals in some spots like we did on Friday night. So that's the good news here. Hopefully that helps you maybe be a little alleviated. You probably can sleep tonight, but as long as you have ways to get weather alerts, and that goes for any night. Again, I preach these NOAA weather radios are great to have. You can get them at the, you can get them at a big box market. They're $20, $30 usually, and program your county for them. If not, the WCIA3 weather app. You can program your location. We'll send you a notification if there's an alert for your area and if we go digital streaming tonight for any alerts in the area. So we'll be here. We'll watch it for you. We'll keep you updated. So as long as you've got ways to stay connected, I think you can sleep fine tonight. But we will watch it and keep a close eye on some of those storms that are out there in the region. So again, kind of rehashing the area. For us, the interest for us is going to be this spot right there. Let me pull the radar that can show us the entire region here. This storm complex here does have a severe thunderstorm warning for Fulton County. That's north of Mason County. That's going to include the Canton area, Cuba area, and that will be moving to the east at about 40 miles an hour. This batch probably keeps swinging more south. Maybe we can clip Macoupin, Montgomery County in some of it, but I think it's going to stay more south and should weaken. And then this complex of storms in Chicago, boy, they're getting some tornadoes and damaging winds up there in the area. So we'll keep an eye on it and watch it here. The cold front itself still lags a little bit behind, so there's a chance we may fill in some spots on here. Fingers crossed that we don't. We can get through for the quiet nights and keep things on the quieter side. So that's what I want to do. I just wanted to jump in on digital platforms. If there are warnings in the area, we'll jump on, do some digital coverage for you. But I think tonight looks much quieter. Not as quiet. Let me phrase that. Looks much quieter than Friday night, but not completely quiet. That'd be the best way to describe it. And hopefully we can get some rain for folks that have wanted it. Some folks, though, you know who I'm talking about, don't want to see the rain. This is a look at those severe weather impacts. Again, we're using 3 a.m. as the time frame here for the end time. It may be earlier than that, but after that for certain, I think we're done. Damaging winds with any storm. We've already had some 60 to 70 mile an hour winds in Iowa, Missouri, and West Illinois. Some large hail, quarter, maybe $50, isolated in coverage. And I can't rule out a tornado or two. If that happens, as long as you've got those ways to stay connected, you'll be able to know it's coming. And that's what we want to stress is important here with these storms coming on through. And so we'll watch it and keep you updated on that. Reliable alerts again. I'll throw this graphic up here. Don't count on your tornado sirens to wake you up unless you live right next door. If you're a heavy sleeper, those things aren't even meant to be heard inside. Some people rely on them. Try other things here. The app on your phone, your weather app, your radio, the WCIA3 app on TV if need be. We've got the crawl on the bottom of the screen rolling right now on WCIA. So we'll keep you updated and watch these storms as they roll on through. Now, a quick mention for the cooler temperatures here. Let me switch over the graphics real quick to something else. I think you're going to like what I show you here if you're waiting for that cooler air. Tomorrow will actually stay in the 60s through most of the day. Here we go, the future track temperatures as it loads in a second. The cold front coming does provide some lift for these storms, but at least it cools off. Look at this. By tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., we still got a few spots in the 70s here, but some 60s already on I-55. And we think that temperatures will continue to cool through the day here, staying mid to upper 60s in most spots into the afternoon. There will be some scattered rain showers, no severe weather tomorrow. And then by the time we roll into Tuesday morning, 40s are likely to make an appearance in some spots into the region. So at least some cooler air is coming into the region. So again, wrapping up here, this quick update for you on digital platforms. We've gotten a number of alerts in Illinois. There's one complex of storms in Fulton County moving to the east. And kind of looking at the trend, maybe I'd suggest it's trying to weaken a little bit. So we'll see if that plays out here. I can't rule out a few strong storms. Wind would be the main threat. I can't rule out an isolated tornado either, but it seems like the worst of it has been to the north of us, I-80, I-88 corridors, and that's what we seem to think would happen. In fact, 2 tornado warnings in Chicago right now, one of them in the north downtown, the other in the west suburbs. This batch of storms moving to the south and east, so we'll watch it and keep you updated, but maybe we get through tonight rather quiet before all is said and done. All right. Hopefully we get some rain, and that's it. But if there are any more severe alerts tonight, you can count on us to be on the digital side and on TV if need be. And by 2, 3 a.m., we're probably done with this. So we'll watch and see how things play out for a couple more hours and keep you updated. Take care. Hope we don't see you the rest of the night. Hopefully it's just Amelia Henderson in the morning show that you see next from weather. But if not, we'll be here, and we'll keep you covered. Take care.